what is your code, and are you expressing your divine code? With a computer, right, you have software that you can put on your computer, and then you got things like viruses and adware that harm the computer or make the computer not function how it's supposed to function. And if you can imagine our reality as a computer or a software, are you a virus or are you in alignment with the code? Are you in alignment with your truth, and connected in with this reality? And in this reality, we call that nature, right? We call that the truth, or we call that God. And so the more that we can connect with nature and our truth, which is within, the more that we can find our power, our alignment, things manifesting much quicker, reaching our goals, having more fulfillment, joy, and abundance. And, there's another way to go about it, which is following the ego, right? Or following the mind and conditioning, and basically the things that we've been taught about our reality. Okay, so a lot of people are taking action, maybe even you, I know I did this, taking action based on what your parents want, what society says you should be or become, and what people think of you. And this is a huge distraction, even looking at, other influencers or social media people, or, just seeing what other people are doing, friends, family members, and saying, okay, I want to do that too. Okay, and that's fine. Some of the time that is your truth, sometimes it's in alignment, sometimes it is your truth. And some people may experience finding their purpose in that way. So I commend them for that. That's really powerful to be that intuitive, to know, okay, this is something that I want to do. But also for a lot of people, they don't know what their purpose is, what their passions are, why they're here and things like this. And the more that we can tap into our unique code and express that code, the more we are in alignment with nature, and God can now flow through you a lot better. And, I've been lucky enough to create the time to be able to do what I do now. It wasn't easy in the beginning. I was working, a 9-to-5 job as a forklift driver. I was in crazy amounts of debt. I had a girlfriend at the time. I used to train in the gym quite hard. I had a really busy day, and I also wanted to start business. So all of these things was a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of focus. And, I didn't make the excuse that I don't have enough time. A lot of people do that, and they're missing out on their truth because of that. And the reality is, I said to myself, I don't care if it takes me 50 years to achieve having freedom. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And so I found myself sleeping less, 4 or 5 hours a night. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I was doing. And I'm not saying to do that, because that's not really good for your health long term. And I'm not suggesting that. But what I'm suggesting is if you can't find the way, you need to make the way. And that's a quote from Tony Robbins. If you can't find the way, make the way. And so I made the way. Now I'm able to work from home. I get to travel all over the world, and I create abundance for myself, and I get to serve people and transform other people's lives. I've had people that make, 4, 5, even up to 6 figures. And I've had students and clients that's gone on to make 7-figure incomes. I've had people traveling. I've had people find their soulmate, their twin flame, through working with me, getting coaching with me. And so this is not by accident. This is through me understanding certain principles. And this is one of the principles that I'm teaching you now. Right now, I'm living in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Before that, I was in Indonesia. Before that, I was in the UK. I was in Montserrat. I was also in, not Montreal, but Montserrat. It's in the Caribbean. I was living in Mexico also. I was living in all these countries. And this is through being in alignment with my code and expressing that code, right? So what do I mean by that, and how do you do it? Well, what you want to do is go within and listen, okay? They say we have one mouth and 2 ears for a reason, right? We need to be able to listen to our calling, right? Listen to our intuition, listen to our heart space, and get out of the mind and come down in an elevator to your heart space and really connecting with your heart. Also connecting with nature. They say that if you put your hand on a tree or you touch a tree, you can get divine knowledge and divine downloads just from touching a tree and connecting with nature in that way. And you might not feel anything or experience anything by touching a tree, but there's a network that goes underground with the trees, and they're all connected, right? The same with mushroom. You can look into mushroom and how mushrooms literally create our reality, and they are very, very powerful. And you can, if you tap into these types of medicines like mushroom and ayahuasca, you get much more connected with nature or the universe, and you get knowledge that is really powerful. Now, I would like to say that I know how to interpret this stuff. I can see and I can interpret certain knowledge, certain downloads. Some people are not capable of doing that. But what I'm saying is you will have a feeling or an inspiration, or the right things and circumstances will show up in your life that's in alignment with your truth. And then you get to experience more of your divine power, your divine code, your divine blueprint, and experience more fulfillment, joy, and happiness. And so one of the key things also to understand here is that I'm not saying that by going in and finding your divine blueprint that you're going to become more happy. I think you can actually create happiness without having the divine blueprint too. And you can actually manifest your divine blueprint or your code or your path much faster by going inward and tapping into that happiness and joy. We create rules in our mind on what it takes to be happy, what it takes to be joyful. Like, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. I need to have a house, I need to have kids, I need to have this. Then I'll be happy. But the truth is, you can wake up and be fulfilled, right? You can wake up and be happy if you choose to. It's a choice, all right? Yesterday, I woke up and I didn't feel good. And I made the choice to be happy. I made the choice to change my state. And so what did I do? I put my legs up against the wall, on the sofa actually, and my legs were up here, right? And I was laying down flat so that the blood and oxygen can rush to my brain. I also took a brain supplement with mushrooms inside, and that helped wake me up a little bit and get my brain working and functioning. And then I did some breath work, I did some breathing, and all of this stuff contributed to me being more awake and feeling more alive, and me being happy. All right. And so I made the choice, and also changed my thoughts. I changed my thoughts, and I done a little bit of an energy healing as well. And I removed any spirits or consciousnesses, which I'm going to be talking about in another video, from me, having doubts or carrying the consciousness of not feeling good. Right. And through all of that, like I started to feel more awake, more alive, and go down the positive path, if that makes sense. And so what can we do right now to begin to tap into that? You can do meditation, right? You can listen to yourself more, having the ability to say no, reducing your distractions, right? Social media, and maybe even less reading. Like, sometimes reading spiritual books can distract you from the truth. Even watching this video can be a distraction from the truth, because you got to listen to you, right? And understand your code and the way that you think, and come up with your own ideas and inspiration and your ways of being, and expressing that into the universe, because ultimately the universe wants to express itself, and you are the universe. So don't hold back from expressing your true self. All right. Now, if you would like support in me helping you tap into this code, deprogram certain conditioning, and really tap into your purposeful work, and live a fulfilling and happy life, and taking the steps to making it happen, and stepping into the identity to make that happen, then go ahead and check out my coaching. You'll see the video right here to find out more about that. And remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.